Shalom Aleichem, my Assyrian Dishes friends. Today, I'm in the backyard of my fellow YouTuber, Zaatar Gardens, Moses.
Hi.
Thank you, Moses, for inviting my family here today in your backyard. I was particularly interested in your backyard because of the Zaatar that you grow.
Yes.
And you know, Assyrians and Armenians, we all love Zaatar.
Everybody should love Zaatar.
Yeah. When did you start this backyard with all
This backyard, the side yard in the front of the house, was started when I purchased the home. But it really catalyzed when my wife told me I was going to have my first child. I really wanted to be with him like my grandmother was with me, gardening since I was 3, and I wanted to garden when he was very young. We started when he was just a little toddler, so about 6 years ago.
I'd love to have a tour of your backyard.
Of course, let's go.
And this is the reason why we came to Zaatar Gardens for this time, which is the main ingredient to make Zaatar.
This variety is what I use for the mix, you are correct. Its name is Oregonum syricum, very biblical and very rare and old herb. I wait for the flowers to just about to bloom. You'll see white flowers. Cut it back before it starts making seeds because it gets vigorous. It'll go everywhere. Then I just put it onto a screen, put it in the shade. It will become dry after a week. I'll use that with the mix.
So there's different types of time to make Zaatar.
If they choose to, every region in the world, they'll grow different varieties of what they have, and they all taste similar. This is, in my opinion, the best thing to use to make the mix, Oregonum syricum. Scholars believe that this is the actual hyssop named in the Old Testament Passover, where they dipped the hyssop or the herb into lamb's blood and wiped it over the passageways of houses.
And Moses, what's interesting about this plant?
This plant there's a lot of names of it. King of Thorns or Crown of Thorns, and the Jesus crown or the Christ crown. This is the plant that supposedly the Romans used to make the crown for Jesus when they crucified him. This is the plant.
Moses, with this particular tree, what kind of fruits are you growing? It's very unique.
Yes, this fruit tree is a 4-in-1. Fantasia nectarine right now. The left is Babcock peach. Then behind this, going to the left, is a Santa Rosa plum. And in the back is a Belgium apricot, all in one. And they all ripen counterclockwise. So the apricot will ripen, and then when that is finished, the plum will ripen, that is finished, peach will ripen, and then the nectarine will ripen in August.
Beautiful.
So 4 months of fruit in one spot.
Wow, nice. This is your olive tree, Moses?
Yes, one of the two. This is called Korneki. It's a Greek olive. It only gets maybe 2, 3, 4 more feet taller than this. It's a dwarf variety. Some places it can grow 10 to 15 feet tall, but this little guy is the most productive olive tree I've ever grown. At this size, it almost produced 10 pounds of olives last year.
And Moses, this is the parsley herb that you grow, which you probably use a lot for making tapula.
Yes, this is flat leaf Italian parsley that I've been growing for about 6-7 years, growing the seeds over and over and over, picking the best parsley I can find to have the best sweet taste and the best size of leaves. So this is actually a medium-sized leaf. They'll get almost the size of my whole hand. I graciously gave you a gift of some seeds from this plant, but I'll save these. I don't buy any parsley plants. I grow it from seed from this plant.
Grapevines is a particular plant that grows in California, and I normally get it from Orlando. Grapevines in a jar, and it's so nice to see it real life in California, in Fresno, in your backyard. I know it's a bit still too small. How long does it grow?
I have 5 varieties of grapes along this fence because the grapes love heat. Without the heat, you're not going to get grapes or you're not going to get much. So they start pushing out growth about 2 weeks ago, so that will be the first week of March or the last week of February. This is about 3-year-old plant. I have one that's about 7 years old and it's a big base. And some grapes here in Fresno are over 100 years old, and the base of them is as big as a tree. This particular grape is a black grape, and they'll start producing edible grapes end of summer. The vine leaves, like you're seeing right now, they're small. They'll get a lot bigger in about a couple more weeks. They're ready to pick for dolma or salma or yalanchi in about 1 month.
And these are the asparagus that you grow, Moses?
Yes, this is one of the varieties of asparagus that I grow. The way I grow this asparagus, put about almost a foot deep of wood chips in this asparagus bed, and I bury a lot of seaweed. And this asparagus bed produces from January all the way to the end of October, Halloween. So the asparagus will typically be about this size. Not many people have tried fresh asparagus before. It's very sweet and juicy. You know, back in time when we were roaming the lands, we didn't cut asparagus. We grabbed it and pulled and ate. So that's exactly what I do. How to know where to eat? Just grab both ends and break.
I hope you enjoyed my tour of Zaatar Gardens. Hope you can subscribe, share and like this episode with your friends. Thank you, Moses, for spending the time with me, going around your garden and seeing these beautiful plants and vegetables.
No, it was great. And I'm actually, honestly, I couldn't believe that you asked me, can we come and see your garden? Amazing that how I started my YouTube journey of people telling me no one's gonna really pay attention, but you proved them all wrong.
Yeah, all the way from Canada.
Yeah, all the way from Canada.
I had to come and see your...
But I told them Australia, so they came all the way from Australia to here.
No worries. Happy cooking, everyone.
And happy gardening, everyone. Bye.